Earlier this month, longtime video essayist megapigg 9001 released an in-depth critique on a certain song. And just as I had released my own video on my favorite Touhou songs, later that same day he'd release his own video going over his least favorite Touhou song. And as someone who may or may not have really liked this certain song, placing it fairly highly on my song sorter, I feel obligated to defend this adventurous tale. So, howdy, I'm All Voice, and I'm here to represent a different side of the coin, in defense of the Fairies Adventurous Tale. So, first of all, I just have to clarify that I don't really have anything against megapigg. In fact, I'd actually say he's one of my favorite Touhou essayists, who consistently uploads. I've joined in several events he's organized, including very recently Imperishable Day, and I've also been a fan since his first Touhou essay. Safe to say it's all positive things to say for megapigg. Instead, I want to go about this video in a similar manner he did, going through what I like about Touhou songs and using it to counter some of megapigg's gripes with the song. I want to represent a different side to this, so that hopefully we won't just settle with megapigg's point of view, and instead actually give the song a fair shot. To sum it up,
I'm not going to try to convince you that the song is bad.
but I am gonna try to convince you that the song is good. So enough beating around the bush, this is the Fairies Adventurous Tale, or what I'll be calling it, the Fat. That's a bad name. Let's go with Fairies Tale, specifically the Trojan green Asteroid arrangement. Fairies Tale is a chill and relaxing bop, but that's kind of a surface level description of the song. The quick moving bass line has this playful and eager energy that gives the song this air of curiosity, and the woodwinds come in to reinforce that feeling, only making it livelier, like you're mucking around in a forest, adding a more slice of life aspect to the Trojan CD. But aside from the emotions the song evokes, the mood and general vibe of the song is soft and soothing, while at the same time almost bouncy and energetic. Fairies Tale might not be a great song to sleep or relax to, but it is a great song to wake up to. Picture this. You just woke up, tired and confuzzled. You don't really want to listen to blaring Zunpits, but you need a good wake-up song to pump you up in the morning. Fairies Tale eases you in with a subdued and casual intro that gradually builds up to more and more instruments, almost carefully holding your hand with a short and steady bass line that plays throughout the theme. Anyhow, that's just what I have to say about the song. Let's actually start to go through some of megapigg's criticisms. And about that, I've kinda already breezed through some of the earlier points in the video. In fact, I actually worded some of my earlier comments in the script to directly counter some of megapigg's critiques. So I'll just be expanding on some of my arguments against the points in the video. Starting with...
But there's other relaxing songs I like more. Fairies Tale would not be my first choice for a relaxing song.
Nope, I wouldn't say it's my first choice either. It's more of a fourth or fifth choice, honestly. But you can't really listen to the same song over and over again without getting tired of it. Besides, even though I wouldn't say it's the best of its kind, I still think Fairies Tale stands out with its unique instrumentation and just the overall atmosphere of the song.
But for Fairies Tale, the intro is very subdued, and it builds up to the other instruments extremely gradually.
Now, in the context of the original video, megapigg used this point to show that Fairies Tale has a weak and limp intro as compared to other more traditional Touhou songs. But as I've said in this video, the more reserved intro works in the song's favor. You can't really start off with a bombastic opening when you're trying to pull off a more casual vibe.
Another thing I don't particularly like about this song is its emphasis on the bass.
I love the bass, but that's a matter of taste. Go ahead, continue.
I don't really feel anything from Fairies Tale. Well, aside from boredom.
Guessing by the previous point, megapigg isn't really gravitating to the bass, which is a shame since I'd say it's the best aspect of the song, and is responsible for the curious feeling and almost playful wonder that the song gives off, and what even Zun stated he was going for in his notes.
If you asked multiple Touhou fans to hum Chinese tea, there's a good chance that they'll each hum a different part. Fairies Tale does have multiple sections, but none of them stick in my mind.
Okay, this next part. Na 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 na. And my favorite part, we're no strangers to love. Still, it's probably not fair to compare the iconicness of a song coming from EOSD to a song most Touhou fans probably heard for the first time on this video. Anyways, I feel like I've said enough. If you come out listening to this thinking this song sounds great, then nice! You've been successfully brainwashed. And if you're looking for more songs like Fairies Tale, here's a few suggestions. If you want some of the same slow and soothing sound, then I recommend Boys and Girls of a Science Era, which also comes from a Hifu CD. The bass isn't as prominent here as in Fairies Tale, instead taking more of a backseat to the piano, but the general atmosphere is still there. But if you want a more bassy theme, then have Miss Lake, coming from Double Dealing Character. The bassline honestly sounds one-to-one with the Fairies Tale bassline, except this one's definitely a lot more high energy. And if I had to recommend some of my favorite songs, then look no further than On the Same Game, with the title theme to DDC being Mysterious Purification Rod, a beautiful and serene track being my go-to pick for a cute, relaxing, and good mood theme. And another favorite of mine being one of the best starts off slow then picks up the pace songs in the series, being Forest of Dolls, coming from the godly Dolls in Pseudo Paradise CD that, as I've said in my previous video, I believe to be Zun's best work when it comes to music. But maybe you came out a little disappointed. If you came to Megapigg's video looking for the bottom of the barrel Touhou song, then sorry to disappoint. That still leaves the question, if the Fairies Adventurous Tale isn't the worst Touhou song, then what is? Well, that's a question for another day.